Hi everyone, welcome to our channel, Rebecca, Stu, and the crew. I'm Rebecca, and today we're going to make this sign using items from Michael's and the Dollar Tree. So let's go over our supplies list first. I'm going to use 4 of these little dollar pieces from Michael's. You can use these arrow signs from the Dollar Tree and one of these home signs for Dollar Tree. I also found one at Michael's. That's the one I'll be using. We'll need some of these heart stickers, one of these signs, or you could use a metal cookie sheet from the Dollar Tree. We'll also use some of the maker's twine in the white and gray, a few of these pink flowers from Michael's, and some pink berry garland from Michael's. We're going to use a sanding block from the Dollar Tree, some antiquing wax by Folk Art, the Folk Art white chalk paint, and then I'm also going to use some Waverly gray paint. We're going to need some paint brushes and a paper towel that's a little bit wet. We'll need some hot glue also to put this all together, and a pair of scissors. So let's get crafty. So the first thing we're going to do is paint with the white chalk paint these 4 house pieces from Michael's up in the dollar section close to the register. They always have these little wood pieces that you could buy for crafting. Again, you can use those arrows that look like houses from the Dollar Tree. You would just have to put a stand on the back of them to help hold them up. So now once those are dry with the white chalk paint, we're going to lightly brush on some of this antiquing wax just all across the top. And then we will take a damp paper towel and rub all of the antiquing wax into the wood here. And it helps pick up some of that wood grain look and also gives it an antiquing look without it being a really dark stain. So you do want to just put a little bit on, and then again using a damp paper towel there to help wipe it off. So while that's all drying, we're going to take this home sign apart from Michael's. This also was over in the dollar section. They have a smaller version of this at the Dollar Tree, or you could use some of their wood letters that come in the little bag that Dollar Tree sells. You could even use stickers if you like from the Dollar Tree. So I just use a screwdriver to pull this sign apart. Comes apart pretty easily. And then I don't want the letters connected at the bottom, so I used an old pair of scissors. Don't use good scissors for this. Just use an old pair and cut through the bottom to cut these little pieces apart that is holding these letters together. That was part of the bottom to help keep it on that little wood plank that was there. So once that's off, we are going to do that to the M and the E as well. We're not going to use the O for this project. And then using our sanding block from Dollar Tree, we just want to sand down the rough edges. It's okay if it looks a little bumpy. It kind of looks nice with the weathered look and the antiquing wax that we put on the houses. Now I'm going to take the Waverly gray paint and paint the 3 letters. And I made sure that I also painted around the edges there, because you will be able to see that when they're glued to the house. You don't have to paint the back though for all 3 of these. Once that's done, I just took a Sharpie marker. You could use a paint marker if you like. You could even just use paint and a detail brush and just do some stitching all the way around the letters to make them look like they are a sewn piece of material. And once you're done with that, this is what it looks like. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best, or just little dashes all the way around. And now we're going to take that metal sign that I picked up at the Dollar Tree this summer and one of the heart stickers and just trace around it on the sign. Now, if you don't have one of these metal signs, not a big deal. You can use one of the aluminum foil cookie sheets from the Dollar Tree. I use those all the time as accents to my craft projects to make it have like a metal look to it. It works out really well, but I'm going to use this sign. I just traced the heart and then cut it out with my pair of scissors. Again, you don't want to use your best pair of craft scissors for this. Use an old pair of scissors. It really doesn't take a super sharp pair to get through this sign, but you do want to be careful because when you cut through this metal, it is sharp on the edges and I don't want anyone to get cut. And here's what it looks like all cut out there. And then I take my Sharpie marker and do those stitch marks around the heart, and this will be our letter O. So now we're going to decorate one of the houses a little bit here. I took some hot glue and attached that maker's twine with the white and gray color scheme and wrap about 3 times, 4 times. You just want to kind of do like an X pattern around the top of the house here. And then if it's too close together, just adjust it. It's not in place until you're done and you glue the back on, so you can play with it a few times. That's why it's nice just to have to glue on that beginning, and then you can kind of move that string around a few times until you get it into place the way you like it. And just put a little bit of hot glue and cut off the excess. So I decided to take some of these pink garland berries from Michael's and just wrap it around a pencil a few times to twirl it, then glue that at the top of this house here. And I wanted to decorate the bottom the same way, so I just used the maker's twine again, a little bead of the hot glue, and then wrapped it around in the same manner a few times on the bottom, and added another sprig of those little berries in the pink color that I picked up at Michael's. If you don't have a Michael's, you can get these berries at the Dollar Tree throughout the year. They sell them in different colors. When you see them, grab one or two. They're nice to stock up on. And a lot of times you really just only need like a small piece to do some crafting with. Like here, I'm only using 2 small pieces, and it came in a 9-foot piece. So I have a lot of extra for other projects. You just want to attach it with a little bit of hot glue here, and it will hold it on just fine. So you really just need a tiny bead, maybe in the middle and then on either end there. And that's what it looks like so far. And then for this one, we're going to glue the heart on the center of this one. So that's why it's a little bit more decorative, since that was kind of the focal point of this whole piece, was the heart with the middle accent there. I wanted this one to look just a tad bit different. And I just attached that with some hot glue. So then for the next house, we're going to start putting the letters on, and I'm going to put these little pink flowers that match the berries on. I just cut these off of a sprig of flowers I picked up at Michael's for $1, and I just cut the flower off of the stem. I glue that on first, and then I glue the letters down. And I did glue each one of these letters and flowers just a little bit different than the next one, because I didn't want them to be exactly the same all the way across. It helps make it a little bit more interesting to see all the flowers in a different spot. So here's the M, as you can see the flowers at a different spot, and the E, I did the flower at the bottom. Then I used that maker's twine to make 3 very small simple bows, and I glued those on as well with the letters for each one of those, and I also glued the bows on in a different spot for each one of these houses. And here's a close-up view of the E. Now you're going to glue all of your wood pieces together. You do want to hold them in place while they dry to make sure they stick together, and put a little bit of extra glue on the back. And that is the whole project completely finished. It's super simple. It doesn't take any time at all to complete, and it was really just a lot of fun to make. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make this with me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And here are some other videos from our channel you might also enjoy. And I'll hope to see you back next week. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time.